ask yourself a question: why some people are really good at what they do and reach consistently great results in comparison to the rest of specialists in their area? Well, I've been absolutely fascinated by this question and spent a lot of time researching it. And what I realized is this: true specialists with special skills and deep knowledge work out the structures, the systems of their trades, and then apply these structures and systems on a consistent basis. This allows them to bring consistently amazing results over and over again. Hello, my dearest friends. My name is Svetlana Shlapak, and I'm a senior immigration solicitor based in London, UK. And I'm also the creator of this free ukvisasuccess.com channel. I won my first immigration case at the tribunal back in 2003, and this gives me over 15 years of experience in UK immigration field. I've created another special video series for you called Deconstructing Immigration Rules, where I've deconstructed over 30 immigration categories for you. I've created this video series with only one aim: to help you understand the structure of immigration rules, because knowing the structure always helps achieve astonishing results. And for those of you who want to see how to apply this structure in practice, you can also check my other video series where I show you how to do exactly that. It is called ukvisasuccess.com frequently asked questions. Okay, let us deconstruct your next immigration category. I remember reading a very interesting book. I don't remember the name, but the author explained that our ability to learn new information, to consume new information, will depend on our brain's capability to to build the bridges between the new and the old information. In today's video, when explaining this particular points-based system application, I would like to start with helping you build these bridges between the old and new information. And I'll do this by explaining common features of all points-based system applications. And here they are. There are 5 key elements to any points-based system application. And as with any rule, there are always exceptions, but the structure is pretty much the same. So when the decision maker receives an application, the points-based system application, they start considering the application with the general grounds for refusal. What this means is that the applicant is suitable to enter the UK. And I've created a separate video explaining all general grounds for refusal. But just to give you an idea, in case you haven't watched this video, you need to make sure that there are no criminal convictions, and if there were criminal convictions, that these are spent. And it's all about deportation orders, exclusion, removal orders, and dishonesty. This is just to give you a general idea, but if you watch this video, you'll just have a full picture of how they check these general grounds for refusal. And then we have the attributes key element, which every single points-based system application has, and this is a unique feature or a number of unique features which you can only find for this particular points-based system application. And then we have Appendix B, the English language requirements. There are a number of points-based system applications where you don't need to meet that, but if you do, you will always be given 10 points for that. Then you will need to meet the next requirements, the maintenance requirements. And as I mentioned before, there are exclusions where the applicants are not required to show that they need to meet this particular requirement. But if you do, then it will be 10 points granted for that. And every single application, points-based system application, also has some other requirements. Normally, this is connected with the person's age, with the necessity to produce criminal certificates, and so on and so forth. So these are 5 key features of almost any points-based system application. There are exceptions, but this is the structure which applies to all of them. Tier 4 students, in order for someone to succeed as a Tier 4 general student, the applicants will need to score 40 points. They will need to make sure that they do not fall under the general grounds for refusal. They score 30 points under Appendix A. Then Appendix B is not applicable. Appendix C, it's 10 points. And there are some other requirements which students will need to meet. In order to score 30 points for the Appendix A, the students will need to prove that they have a what's known confirmation of acceptance for studies. This is a digital confirmation or a digital document which is normally valid for 6 months, and this should be granted by a Tier 4 licensed sponsor. It should have the applicant's details, and it should also contain the course details. There is no Appendix B requirement, but the Home Office did place a requirement on the license sponsors so that they confirm that those who want to do a degree, they can speak English at the level of at least B2, and if it is a below degree level, then it should be at least B1. In terms of finances, it depends on the length of your course. If someone wants to study in the UK, in London, then they will need to prove that they have at least £1,265 per month, and it is for a maximum of 9 months. So even if the course is for 12 months, the student will still need to prove that they have the money for at least 9 months, which is in total £11,385. And if it is outside London, central London, then the amount will be slightly less. It will be £1,015. And if it is even for more than 9 months, the student will still need to prove only to show that they only have the amount for 9 months, which is if it's outside central London, it will be £9,135. They will also need to cover the course fees in full and pay the immigration health surcharge, which is £300 at the moment. As with other points-based system applications, there are other requirements which students will need to meet. First of all, they will only be allowed to study at a course which is below degree level for 2 years, and if it is at the degree level or above, it's normally for 5 years. Sometimes it can be more if it's someone does PhD. The students will need to be over the age of 16, but if they're under the age of 18, they will need to have a confirmation from their parents or legal guardians confirming that they have made suitable travel, reception and care arrangements. And also the students will need to prove that they are genuine students. And what do they mean by genuine students? When the decision maker decides whether or not someone is a genuine student, they will take into consideration the applicant's immigration history. If it's poor, then of course they will have questions as to the genuineness of the application. Also, they will take into consideration the education history and post-study plans, personal and educational circumstances, qualifications, course provider and agents, and whether or not they have any children. Just to slightly elaborate on the confirmation of acceptance for studies, as I mentioned before, it will be issued for no more than 6 months, and it can only be used once. Then application should be made no more than 3 months before the start of the course, and the institution has to have a Tier 4 sponsor license, and the confirmation of acceptance for study should have the following details. They should have the student's name, their gender, nationality. They should also have their passport details, and they should have the course details, title, level, when it starts and when it finishes, how many hours per week the student will be studying, and they should also specifically confirm whether it's a part-time or a full-time course. If someone is studying in London, it means that studying at the institutions wholly or partially within the area comprising the City of London and the former Metropolitan Police District. They must have had the funds for a consecutive 28 period of time and must be in the form of cash. So shares, bonds, credit cards, pension funds are not acceptable. And the documents which students will need to provide, normally the decision maker will expect them to submit bank statements or building society passbooks and a letter from the applicant's bank or building society. Uh, Educational providers must prove that they are genuine institutions and they will be audited by the Home Office on a regular basis, inspected and accredited. Licenses can be revoked from time to time if the TFO sponsors do not comply with the obligations, and they are under the obligation to do checks on the students to ensure that they attend the course. And as you will see later, as I will explain, there are stricter rules on their ability to work. So this is to protect the UK's labour market. And also, if a person is a national of a country which is listed in Appendix H, the easiest way to find the list is just to go to the search engine and type Appendix H UKVI, where they have all the countries listed. And if your country is on the list, it means that there is a lesser evidential burden on your country. So it means that you need to provide less documents in support of your application. What they mean by the full-time course, it's at least 15 hours a week, and English language, as I mentioned before, it should be at least at level B2 if someone wants to do a degree level course, or B1 if it's a pre-degree level course. So if the application is granted, then and the course is for the duration of 12 months, then there will be their visa will be issued 1 month before the course starts and 4 months after. If it's between 6 to 12 months, it will be 1 month before and 2 months after. If it's processional course of less than 6 months, then it will be 1 month before the course begins and 1 month after. And if the course is for less than 6 months and it is not a processional course, it will be 7 days before the course starts and 7 days after. And the following conditions will be imposed on your stay. So you will not be allowed to claim benefits. You will be required to register with the police, and some countries are not, so you need to double check that. But you will be specifically told whether or not you are required once your visa is granted. You will only be allowed to work in certain circumstances, which I'm going to explain in a second, and you will not be generally allowed to study at another full-time course, and of course there are exceptions which are applicable. In terms of your ability to work, if it's a full-time course, then you will be allowed to work for a maximum of 20 hours during the term time and full-time during vacations. If it's a full-time course below the degree level, then it's only 10 hours and full-time during the vacation. If it's part-time course, students are not allowed to work, and if anyone studies at any level, they will be allowed to work on a work placement as a part of the course, and they will be allowed to work as a student union sabbatical officer for up to 2 years. And before you go, I wanted to share some exciting news with you. On request of my subscribers, I'll now be publishing a ukvisasuccess.com newsletter. I value your and my time, and therefore in this newsletter I'll be straight to the point. It will be published once a week, and in this newsletter I'll be giving you 5 actionable practical things, and as a ukvisasuccess.com subscriber, you will be the first one to see them before everyone else does. And here is the format of the newsletter. I'll be sharing a new video, a new information card. I'll be answering one of the most frequently asked questions submitted by my newsletter subscribers, and I'll be sharing one random thing which is completely unrelated to UK immigration law, but this is going to be something which inspired me and something which may inspire you as well. And finally, I'll be sharing news of the UK immigration world with you and making announcements about free masterclasses ebooks, mind maps, which I am creating for you guys on a regular basis. The subscription process takes less than 30 seconds, and the link is in the description. If you found this video useful, you can do three things right now. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can visit my free website at ukvisasuccess.com. And most importantly, you can share this video with those who may benefit from it. By sharing these videos, you may help others avoid refusals of their immigration applications. Because in immigration law, knowledge and clarity are the key ingredients to success. Thank you so much for your support and for your positive feedback, which incredibly inspires me and gives me fuel to create more and more videos clarifying various aspects of UK immigration law. Have a great day, everyone.